Welcome back to PANENKA Predictions. It's round 37, the penultimate round of games from the English Premier League, and we also have games from La Liga, which should see Barcelona crowned as La Liga champions this year. There were a few surprise results in last weekend's fixtures. Barcelona beating Madrid was not one of them, and so there's still loads to play for this weekend. Newcastle, Chelsea and Aston Villa are all still fighting for Champions League qualification, and of course we have the FA Cup final between Crystal Palace and Manchester City this weekend. Before we take a look at these games and more, please do me the small favour of subscribing to this channel and giving this video a like if you do enjoy it. And don't forget to share your thoughts and predictions down in the comments for me. Let's kick off this weekend's action though in Spain with the Thursday night derby of Catalonia, which could see Barcelona crowned champions as they travel not too far away to play their local rivals Espanyol. Barcelona are now 7 points clear at the top, and a win here would see them claim the title. Espanyol, however, they are still not mathematically safe from relegation, and they won't want to see their local rivals celebrating the title in their own backyard, so they'll be doing their very best to postpone the Blaugrau celebrations. However, when you're playing a team that's over 40 points above you in the table, then sometimes your very best might just not be good enough. And I think that's the case for Espanyol this weekend. Barcelona are one of the best sides in the world right now, and their confidence coming into this game will be sky high. Even if somehow they go a goal down in this game, maybe even 2 goals down, you know that that's not enough to stop this team, as they have repeatedly come back from behind to win countless games so far this season. And with the form Espanyol are in right now, with 3 losses from their last 3 games, I don't think we're in for any major surprises in this game. Espanyol, they'll try and keep it tight and tough and make it a gritty game and hold out Barca for as long as they can, but I can't see nothing more than a convincing Barcelona win here and them being crowned champions after an amazing first season for this new coach Hansi Flick and for this young team. And for my prediction between Espanyol and Barcelona, I'm going for a Barcelona away win with over 1.5 goals in the game. In the Premier League, Aston Villa take on Tottenham Hotspur in a game that, if they win, will move them up to 4th place on the table and into a Champions League spot for next season. But depending on how other results go, that may just be a temporary placement. But there's nothing Villa can do about that. They just have to concern themselves with getting a home win against Tottenham, whose main priority really is the Europa League final against Manchester United. Villa, they earned a valuable 3 points last weekend away at Bournemouth, and Tottenham, they fell to a 2-0 defeat at home against Crystal Palace. Villa, in the form they're in right now, they've won 3 out of their last 4 games in the Premier League, and Tottenham, surprise, surprise here, they've lost 3 of their last 4 games in the Premier League, and I think that trend is going to continue again this weekend. Although recently Tottenham have had the better results whenever these 2 teams have played, I can only see one outcome from this game, and that is going to be for an Aston Villa home win against Tottenham. Chelsea in 5th place face Manchester United, well, somewhere down the bottom half of the table. And after last weekend's 2-0 loss away at Newcastle, there is no margin for error for Chelsea here, and they simply have to get the win. They went behind in the opening minutes against Newcastle, and then they even went down to 10 men as Nicholas Jackson had his yellow card upgraded to a red card for an over-enthusiastic challenge. I do think that was a harsh decision. Chelsea sturdied themselves nicely for the rest of that game and actually created a few good goal-scoring chances against Newcastle, but it just simply wasn't their day, and that was highlighted when they fell 2 goals behind to a heavily deflected shot by Bruno Guimaraes. They will be without the services of Nicholas Jackson for this game, but Chelsea do have quite a few goal providers in their side, and they should feel confident about getting the 3 points here against a very hot and cold Manchester United. Man U, well, they're pretty hot in the Europa League. They've made it to the final, smashing Athletic Bilbao, but once again last weekend in the Premier League, they were very average and were beaten by lowly West Ham 2-0 at Old Trafford. We should expect some kind of response and improved performance from Man U this weekend, and I can see them probably getting on the score sheet against Chelsea, but I just think that the difference in motivation and overall consistency this season between these 2 sides should see Chelsea bag the whole 3 points, and therefore for my prediction between Chelsea and Man U, I'm keeping it simple. I'm going for a Chelsea home win. Arsenal in 2nd place take on Newcastle in 3rd place in the last of the games involving teams to qualify for the Champions League places. Sorry Nottingham Forest fans, I just think the tank has really run dry for your team, and they should be very happy to play in the Europa League next season. Well done Forest. Arsenal came from 2 goals down against Liverpool to record an impressive 2-2 draw, even though they had Mikel Merino sent off, and as I mentioned before, Newcastle beat Chelsea 2-0 at home to move up to 3rd in the table. This should be a very entertaining and a high quality match, as Arsenal, they won't want to lose their last home game of the season, and Newcastle, they're in need of the 3 points. Both sides have quality attacking attacking options, and Arsenal, I feel they're slightly the more complete package than Newcastle, and they do tend to get good results whenever they play Newcastle at home. But I don't think they'll keep the joins quiet for the entirety of this game. Both teams look good to score goals, and I think that going for goals in this game, it's going to be much easier than actually predicting a winner. So therefore, for my prediction between Arsenal and Newcastle, I'm going for both teams to score, and I do hope the Geordies win this. Next up, it's the FA Cup final between Crystal Palace and Manchester City. Now this game is anyone's to win. Man City may come into this game as slight favourites because they're Man City, but the way Palace are playing at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised to see them get a win here. And this is a hard game to call. Crystal Palace beat Tottenham away from home last weekend, quite easy to be honest, whereas Man City were held to a scoreless draw against relegated and just the worst team in the league, Southampton. And they did field a very strong side in their game. Even Haaland made his return, but they just couldn't find the back of the net, really, against the worst defence in the league, and this should be a worrying sign for Man City. I actually favour Crystal Palace in this game based on the current form between the two teams, but I'm not so confident that I'm going to back them to get the win here. Maybe I should though. Instead, my prediction for the FA Cup final between Crystal Palace and Manchester City is going to be for both teams to score. Let me know your predictions for the FA Cup final and for any of the other exciting games this weekend down in the comments. That's all my predictions for this weekend, everyone. I hope you all enjoy the amazing football. Have a great weekend. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and give this video a like if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you all again very soon.